everybody. I'm Cassidy, one of your Indianapolis Colts cheerleaders, and you're watching the Believe in Colts podcast.
What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen, back again with Believe in Colts with my guys Rodney McLeod and Jerraud Powers. Guys, how's everything going? It's been a week since we've talked to each other and games, and actually it's been a little bit longer for Rodney here on the podcast because of your short week. How's everybody been?
Man, I've been good. Coming off a great win, that made the weekend that much better, and blessed, man. It's a new week. It's Tuesday, so I'm feeling good. Sun's out, man, and can't ask for nothing better than that. How you guys?
Man, I'm the same. Feeling good. Coming off from a week of the beach, kids back in school. So happy about that. Back to my routine of scheduling things through the week, but everything's good. Can't complain at all.
Awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and kick off in just a moment with the whole big win that you talked about, Rodney. Going into that game, there was going to be a lot of question marks across the line. My first question before you know what? Before we get into that, I just want to remind everybody that football is back at Bet Online and remains your number one source for all your football betting needs this season. You'll find the latest odds, matchup info, player news, and game trends. As your continued source for all your sports wagering info, Bet Online features live betting, free contests, live scores, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports and events like Major League Baseball, MMA, tennis, boxing, even golf. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 100% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your rewards. Bet Online, where the game starts. So, Rodney, this was huge game. This was one of the best defensive special teams games I have seen in a long time. And again, the Colts get the win, and the other team's offense gets the blame. It is what it is. But walking in against a Russell Wilson team with the weapons that they have, and you guys come away and do what you do. Give us a little bit of feeling about that game after it was over, how the locker room was, how personally it was, all that.
Man, it was a great time to be in the locker room for us after experiencing what we did that game. And I think defensively, we just felt as though what defense was going to make the most plays, the biggest plays of that game. And it's kind of a bend but don't break, kind of mentality is that, man, whoever gives up the first touchdown in this game ultimately is probably going to lose, right? And that can't be us. That's all we were, telling ourselves is, man, like, you give us an inch, we're going to defend it. Whatever it takes, we're going to get it done tonight, man, and we won't be denied. That was my message, to the defensive backs before the game. And I think, it showed countlessly throughout that game, from start to finish. Gilly obviously closing the game, I would say twice, right, and giving us a chance. He gets a huge interception, in regulation towards the end to set up our offense, and then we turn back around at OT, and he gets a huge pass breakup. But I think everybody, of course, the viewers out there, nobody wants to necessarily see that type of game nowadays. A good, defensive game. I think of like that old Baltimore Ravens 2004. Where you got Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and Suggs and those boys, and that's what it felt like. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know how many of those type of games I want, but at the end of the day, good for a couple. But it felt good to just walk away with that win, and knowing that all the work we put in paid off.
Man, I enjoy defensive games. I just think, especially on a primetime setting, I know, fans for the most part, like you said, want to see more points scored, more entertainment, more exciting. I guess when it comes to those type of fans that like that type of football. But from my
Yeah.
perspective, it kind of puts the spotlight on the defensive guys that's making the plays, because it becomes this big defensive battle to where you can't have that many mistakes or it might cost you the game. Just tell the fans a little bit about the emotions and everything that's kind of going on feeling wise during the course of a game when you can't really mess up or give the other team any type of advantage because it's such a defensive battle.
Yeah, it's intense, to be honest, and not saying that uh, every other game isn't as intense, but when you're seeing how the game is flowing and the way things are operating on both offensive sides of the ball, you're put in a position where, man, you have to. It's a field position battle. It's a turnover type of game, and to be honest, you're going out there like, man, I can't be the one. I can't be the guy. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a tackle, whether it's a one-on-one matchup, ball gets thrown in the air. I was so upset about my pass interference call that was made because I knew the magnitude of that. You know what I'm saying? We now give them a chance to extend their drive. That was a second and 10 play. You know, I felt like it was perfect coverage, if you ask me. And so, now we move on and you now set up third and 10. But now we get the flag. Now it's a new set of downs. And who knows what comes of that. We walked off that field and made them and forced them to pump, which was great. But those are the thoughts that are going through your head. Everything is magnified that much more, as you said. You can't have, any sort of hiccup, miscommunication, false step, bad eyes. Like those are critical, but even more in a game where it came down to 3 points, right? And there were so many huge plays in that game. I think about the Grove block field goal, and that just shows you, man, like how it takes. Football is the ultimate team sport, man. And that game we had to do it in all three phases. Every um, I think side of the ball showed up and played their part when they had to.
Absolutely. And a guy that really came out, the rookie, Thomas. Oh my goodness. He is having heck of a start to his
Rod
career out
T,
there.
Rod T, man,
Yeah.
I like him,
He,
man. I like
oh,
he plays.
yeah.
so take me through that play where the official got in the way. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Take me
I haven't
take me through
experienced.
that one.
He probably was going to intercept that ball. I mean,
Hmm.
I've seen stuff like that happen within my career to where, it's tough for officials sometimes to kind of get out of the way because you just never know where the ball's going. But in this particular situation, obviously, I mean, this could have been a huge, huge play. Like Rodney said, how you don't want to have a hiccup. This could have been a costly type play. So it's unfortunate that happened, but I think RT would have had another pick.
Hmm.
He would have. He definitely would have. I think I've only seen that happen. Been a part of that maybe like one other time, and you're like, like, how does that happen? Oh man, oh man,
Like,
yes,
how are you
it's
getting back here this far?
yeah. Like I don't think the refs, man, their anticipation too of like what type of play they expect it to be, and I don't think my man was expecting the deep ball on that play.
Well, again, referees are considered what part of the field, right? So you got to keep one eye open for those zebras out there when you're running around.
Man,
But yeah, I mean he's been getting pass breakups, breaking on the balls, doing everything just great. Uh, the whole defense has been playing absolutely phenomenal, lights out. Um, when Russell Wilson, was there something different about this game from what you saw on film when coming in and facing Russell? Because I'm sure you guys watched a lot of film on how Russell Wilson plays.
mhm.
There was a lot of talk about how he didn't run the ball as much. He stayed in the pocket quite a bit, things like that. Was you seeing stuff like that throughout the game?
Yeah, I think that's credit to the D line being very disciplined in their rush lanes and patterns and the level of focus that we had, and also credit to us in the back end for uh, doing a great job on a good skill group, man. Those guys can play. Judy Sutton. You go across the board, man. Those guys are proven and they make a lot of plays. And they're an explosive, offense in a sense. They have the capability to do that. But I think it was just credit to us the way we played collectively as a defense. To be honest with you, we know what type of player Russell Wilson is. He likes to escape, extend plays. And I felt as though we had a good game plan set in place, and we played disciplined football, simply put.
So getting a big win like that on the road, I remember playing them Thursday night games, especially sometimes, especially when it's a short week, you got to travel across the country and all that type of things. It seems like you're back against the wall, like everything is against you. And then you come out with a victory going forward with, especially how the season and kind of started a little slow, kind of up and downish. We still haven't played complementary football yet to where just all phases are clicking together. So still so much to improve on as a team, but going forward, how do you think a win like this impacts the team heading into a conference game or division game coming up this week?
Man, I think that was you look back on one of those games and it goes one or two ways, and I'm glad we were on the other side of that. I think that's a defining moment for a team, or it can be, right? And I truly believe this can be that game for us. That's a win on the road, short week. Once again, everybody's against us in a sense, and thinking that there's no way that the Colts are walking away with this win. And even probably as the game is going on, like at some way they're going to mess up. They're going to give the game away. But we hung together, and that is the identity of this team right now is perseverance and how do we respond in adverse moments. And I think we rose to that occasion both times, right? You look at KC and then you look at this. I think where we have to take that next step is after we have these huge wins, right, and have success, how do we handle that, right? And we have to treat this next game the same. It's don't read the clippings, uh, continue to have those earplugs in. Don't listen to the necessarily the hype, right, that they might be giving us, and just go out, man, and treat the next one as if, man, like the world is against us again, backs against the wall. And to be honest, we're going into a week with a lot to prove, man, versus this Jacksonville Jaguars team. What they did to us the first game, and being a division opponent. I mean, Jerraud, like records don't matter. We could be, if we were 5-0, what I'm saying, and they were 0-5, it doesn't matter. They're going to bring their best because they know us well. What I'm saying? And it's just that pride that, we all have, of course, as players, but even more when it comes to the division, man. So I think for us, we have to create the success that we have the same way, and go out there, man, and just do whatever it takes. It doesn't have to be pretty, as long as you walk away with a win. In my opinion, that's all that matters.
This Gus Bradley defense has been playing, again, like I said, pretty darn good through the first 5 weeks of the season. Now, obviously, when you're a new player walking in, not only are you trying to get used to, the players around you, but now, there's an added difficulty of a new defensive coordinator here. And so a new scheme, so you're kind of on equal levels with the other guys, but you don't know the other guys as well. Take us through the learning curve that's been this year of coming into the Indianapolis Colts through this point and trying to cement yourself in with this defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like any other sort of relationship. it takes time to build that bond and that chemistry, and it just has to happen naturally. To be honest with you, but um, I haven't had I haven't had to do this in some time where I'm actually stepping into a different locker room, right, and trying to now learn the culture, learn the way of how things are done on a particular team. I've been fortunate enough for the past 6 years to be on the other side where people are coming into you know my culture or our culture that we created, right, and I was already a part of. So, now when you just walking in, uh, you have to identify what that is, what that looks like. And really it's just buying in. I think that's the biggest thing. The quicker you buy in and you embrace everything that comes with now this new team, this new identity, new way, the quicker that I believe that relationship starts to form and it becomes what it is, right now. So I think I see a lot of that, man. I love this team. I love my teammates, and man, wouldn't want to go to battle with any other group. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you.
Drug.
I like it, man. I like the transition. I like the fact that India's settling well. I'm kind of out of the Denver questions. It seemed like so long ago because of the Thursday night game or whatnot, man. But I'm still excited about the season going forward. I know we've had our slow starts. The fans been killing us, which that's nothing new when it come to us and slow starts. But like you said, you can have some defining moments in a season that change the whole course of the season. And even though we haven't kind of put it all together yet, kind of lets you know, like, man, we got so much more we can do as a team. Like, we've beaten some really, really good football teams. Like, when you watch the Chiefs play last night, you're looking at them like, damn, like they're a really good football team, and we beat
Yeah,
them. Then you
yeah,
go on the road, tough Thursday night game, you beat a Bronco team on the road. So I'm still of the believer, as a former player who's been through these emotions and been through these type of seasons, that I mean, it's still a lot of football to be played, and it's still a lot of teams that's still trying to prove themselves. And then when you look at the record from top to bottom across the NFL, everybody's about a game or two apart. I mean, it's a couple teams. You look at the Eagles, undefeated. I want to say it's a couple more one-loss teams or whatnot. But for everybody else, you're still in the thick of it. So I
hmm
think some people, when it comes to our fan base, gotta relax a little bit. It's a lot of football to be played, and we got a lot of damn good football players on our team. So I'm so excited about this year. I got too many friends as Titan fans that's been blowing my phone up, talking trash, former players, and all that. So I'm ready to get this division back, man. Beating Jacksonville,
yes, sir.
going over there, beating the Titans, man. So we got to just get that excitement back. People acting like this is like week 14, week 13, and the season is about to end, and we're not where we need to be. Like, man, the season just started a month ago. Everybody is
Yeah,
still in the thick of it, man.
yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely, and we understand. Everybody understands. There's still a lot to improve upon, especially on one specific side of the ball. But right now, 2/3 of this team is clicking very, very well, right? And that's good to see at this point of the season. I got one more question, but before I do that, is there anything that you would like to bring to light with for people listening or watching right now about this last game that maybe you want to talk about a little bit, Rodney?
Oh, nah, man, I don't really have too much. I
All right,
don't have
all
too
right,
much.
all right, all right. Well, my question, if you're allowed to say it, if you're not, or if you have to paraphrase, that's fine. But the message at halftime, because as close as this game was, whether it was a coach or a player or something like that at halftime in the locker room, trying to get everyone hyped up for the second half. Was there a specific message that was brought across to get the team to continue to play the way they were in the first half?
No, I mean, I would say on the defensive side of the ball in particular, man, we just challenge ourselves to keep things, right where they are. And honestly, how can we elevate, right? What do we need to do right now at this point to change the outcome or the course of this game? And I think for us that was turnovers. And I think we got that. And then I would say on the offensive side of the ball, both I heard, both Matt spoke to us at half. Just talking about closing out this game, man, and doing whatever it takes to win. And then a gentleman, Philip Lindsay, surprisingly showed a lot of emotion, on that side of the ball and challenging everybody on that side to pick things up. And so that was encouraging to hear on the as we have the lockers separating us and they're on the other side of the ball. But it caused that type of game called for certain leaders to speak out in maybe ways that they haven't before. But everybody responded well, man, and we came away with the win.
Awesome. That was a great victory. I don't care what people say about the so poor points. Look, there was the Texans Jaguars game this past Sunday that had fewer total points than what the Colts Broncos did. Okay. There was a touchdown scored in it, but hey, it happens. Those are great defensive games. All right. So I'm excited about defensive play as well, Jerraud. I always have been. I think that'll do it for this episode of Believe in Colts, going over the Broncos game from last Thursday. Thank you all for watching and listening. Please smash that like button, subscribe, download this to whatever platform you're listening to. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. That's Rodney McLeod. And with us again, of course, is Jerraud Powers. This was Believe in Colts, brought to you by Bet Online. And as usual, go Colts.
Do you believe?